Hello, hello. Welcome, Holy One. Welcome to this space. Welcome to this space. I'm A.L. Garris, and this is a space where we allow ourselves to remember more and more of who we are. We are ever expanding beings. We are eternal consciousness within a form, having a now. And many of us have remembered this, and many of us are remembering this. And this space, this channel, these teachings, these understandings, these energy spaces as well, they meet everyone right where they're at. And they assist in whatever way is most beneficial for each individual space of consciousness. The one, we're going to talk about the one, the origin point, God, Source, Goddess. We have a lot of names that we use to describe the space in which all has come from. What I'd like to do is just allow us a space to entertain the thought, okay? What happens when we entertain a thought, when we think a thought, when we allow a thought, when we give our focus to a thought? No matter what that thought is, it gets the opportunity to expand. It gets the opportunity to become more prominent in our life, in the reflection we're receiving. So the understanding of God. For a lot of humanity and cultures beyond religion, there have been these teachings of a deity or a creator who designed and created everything, including humanity. And for some older cultures, they were viewed as gods, but they were actually just beings from other spaces, places in the galaxy and other galaxies. I believe they traveled dimensionally, and they shared information that was so profound to the ones they were sharing it with, and they had such technology that they were seen as gods or a god. And then we have religion that has teachings, and there's so many different religions. Some of it is connected to those higher dimensional beings coming in and sharing their information with humanity. And some of it is connected with a theology or a dogma or a man-made structural teaching based upon a concept of a God figure and the concept of religion in that manner. So what I would like to place upon the table today for us to entertain and look at and engage alignment with, if you so choose, is the understanding that there is a space before all those spaces I just spoke of. There is a space before all those spaces. Man-made theology, man-made dogma, man-made teachings, man-made God, a man-made God, if you would understand it that way. There is a space before the higher dimensional beings, star beings, aliens, whatever you want to deem them as, that came to this planet thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of years ago, and seeded this planet, genetically worked with the human. There is a space before those spaces. We are so vast. Let's take a breath here. Will you just breathe with me for one moment, please? Beautifully done, beautifully done. So there is a space before all of this, and that's the space I would love for us to give a shout out to, an acknowledgement to, and that is the vibration of creation. Yes, let's just think about that for one moment. The vibration of creation before it became any identifiable form. The vibration of creation. My breath fluctuates. Many of you ask me about this. It's the rise in energy. I am fine. I feel exhilarated when it happens. It's almost like I get an extra pump of love through my body when that happens. My body's processing the higher flow. So the vibration of creation is what everything comes from. And the vibration of creation, yes, has no title, no role, no sex, no identification. It is, well, I guess it does have a sense of identification if we're going to be particular here, because it is love. It is love. And I say it because it's beyond comprehension of being a human or a deity or a star being, or it's beyond all of that. Yes, it is. Yes. I also channel divine mind and divine heart, and a lot of times it just intermingles with my speech. So it is my speech. It's all us. We're stepping out of this structured spaces in which we've looked at the way in which we are receiving the understandings of ourselves. Okay? But this space of the vibration of creation is what we would also possibly call prime consciousness. Okay, that's a word I use in my book that I wrote about this. Prime consciousness, origin point, spaces like that would be, words like that would work. So this understanding is the vibration, the consciousness, the energetic flow before anything. That is our origin. That is our origin. People will say, I think I might have connections to Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene or Yeshua, or I think I might have connections to the angelic realm, or I think I might have connections to the Lyrians or the Pleiadians or the Arcturians, or I think I might have connections to Egypt. Yes, you most likely do, but you also have connections to prime consciousness and the vibration of creation, which is before it all. Why do I want to talk about this? Because when we can go to that space of ourselves and entertain it, engage it, allow it, all the other spaces begin to open up, because they're on the way to that space, if you will, in the analytical mind, in the way we understand things, right? It's not completely accurate to utilize those words here, but they will work. They will work. So when you think of you, and you think of your now human life and your now human experiences and what you are doing and being and so forth, that is one space of you, a space. Then you think to yourself, you know, I have a lot of dreams about Egypt. I've had a lot of people in the energy sessions tell me that I have connections to Egypt. I think I have spaces of Egypt that I'm working with. That's another space of you. And then, you know, you might say, I think I had a past life and I was on another planet or whatever. Are you with me? Are you getting this? Those are spaces of us. Those are spaces of us. We are being this human right now. This is a focal point, and it is a sacred, extremely precious, rare, valuable space to be being. It has a direct connection to all the spaces you've ever been and ever will be. And whatever you're doing right here in your now is offering you the opportunity to expand and to, yes, anchor in more love than you have ever imagined. And that love, because you are a quantum, multidimensional being, and we can do another video on what that means, because you are a quantum multidimensional being, as am I, that love that you anchor in this now feeds into and engages all spaces of you. The you that's hearing me right now, the you that is hearing me right now, no matter when you find this video, when I first release it or 10 years later, the you that is hearing me right now was already here hearing me yesterday when you didn't even know you'd be hearing me today, or a year ago and 5 years ago. This you was here right now. This is a part of your multi-dimensional quantum being. and you are experiencing what you've been taught and understand as 3D or possibly 4 or 5D, depending upon where you're at in your spiritual journey and your understanding of yourself as consciousness. That just is a wording we use to give us an idea of what level of reflection we're receiving. Because whatever you're operating in, yes, energetically, consciously, belief structure-wise, your personality, your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, whatever you're operating in, dimensionally, is what is, you receive the reflection of that dimension. So if you want to look outside the window of your divine being that's traveling through its exploration of itself, if you want to, let's just let ourselves think that one more time, okay? If you want to look out the window of the divine being of you that is traveling through the exploration of itself, you can look and you can gauge, what dimension am I in right now, based upon the reflection you are getting in that very moment. Why do I say moment? Because that even changes as you energetically ebb and flow. There are times where we go, woo, much higher dimensional. Our Acasma grid we just had over the weekend, if you're watching this when it came out, it was the January 2024 grid. And no, there is not a video yet because it didn't record, because we're all under the understanding it was just too sacred, because there's never been a grid that hasn't been recorded in since 2020, and we do it every single month, and this is the first time, and it was incredible. People were crying, I was crying, but joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. We were in a higher dimension. We were in the spaces of the divine, the sacred, that space of origination that I was speaking of in the very beginning. The vibration of creation, we were tapping into that. Just like people who have these incredible near-death experiences and they aren't sure they even want to come back because they're so amazingly beautiful. We were tapping into that, and we were fully alive. You know, we didn't have to nearly die to do it, because this is the kind of human we are now. We can look outside the window, if you will, of our divine being as we are traveling the spaces of our exploration, and we can register where we're at and experience those spaces. If you don't like what you're experiencing, shift the vibration and you'll experience differently. You're learning to drive you. You're learning to drive your ship, if you will. So, yes, and even when we were in the grid space, we had our physical eyes closed, many of us, if not all of us. But the physical eyes are one way of receiving reflection. The inner eye also receives reflection of what it is connecting in with, because what it means is your consciousness, you. It's all through your being. The outer is a manifested, created version of the inner vibrational flow, the vibration of creation within. Isn't that exciting and beautiful and big and fun? All right, so I lay this at your feet. It's such a fascinating space, and I'm so excited and grateful to be it. Are you? Right? And thank you for allowing me to be it with you and you with me. I love walking together. I love sharing and connecting in all the ways that we do. We have a beautiful Acasma family of light. If you'd like to join us, just email me. We have a chat group. We have a beautiful Zoom space once a month, and it's all free. It's all offered freely from me and others that I work with that I call leaders of light. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. I have courses on my website if you'd like to learn. I have courses that offer certification to teach others, to work with others. I have courses that are just straight up expansion. I have an expo coming up. If you're watching this when it's released, I only have about, 7 days from today, I'll be on an airplane right now, flying to Los Angeles, California, to do the Conscious Life Expo. I'm so excited. So there's information on my website, a link and everything. If you'd want to join me, meet me there. I'd love it. I'm doing a workshop and a lecture. I'm going to have a booth 86 in the International Ballroom at the LAX Hilton for the Conscious Life Expo, February 9th, 10th, and 11th. So I'm super excited about that. I have a team of 7 women coming with me and my husband. It's going to be an